iconic host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, a role cemented by him and made him a legend in television. He is one of the best voices on TV. And, you know, beyond the screen, he's also a filmmaker, a photographer with an eye for storytelling, an award-winning journalist, and so much more. We welcome Mr. Frank Edor.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I'm happy. Those are accolades you threw. Some not so authentic, but I'll just take it. I'll take it.
You take it. Fantastic. Welcome. Lovely to have you on the Black Table.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Also, we have a visionary leader shaping the future of media and entertainment in Nigeria. As Paramount's country director, is at the forefront of driving innovation and redefining business and creative leadership. His philosophy, true influence, comes from deep personal connections, a belief that fuels his work and impact in the industry. Please welcome Mr. Bada Akintunde Johnson.
Was that me you were talking about?
Yes, talking about you. Welcome.
It's a pleasure.
It's lovely to have the both of you on the show.
Yeah.
This evening, of course, we're going to be joined by one more person, Gang. He'll be here shortly. And once he joins us, then we can, you know, get into everything. But tonight, our main conversation will be focused on media. Music, and royalties. Because over the years, we've seen how people get into all sorts of uncomfortable situations when it comes to, you know, deals they've signed and understanding, you know, what they've signed.
Yes.
And of course, at the same time, educating the people out there who are interested in what's going on generally when it comes to television, film, and music. So that's what we're going to be talking about on the Black Table tonight. But before we dive into that, I would like to ask you quickly how your week has been. Let's start with you, Mr. Frank.
Wow, pretty rough.
Rough?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we talked earlier, you talked about the Super Eagles.
Oh, please. Oh, wow. And when I said rough, I didn't even include them. I should have said horrendous.
Horrendous, okay.
Yes. We're disappointed. But, you know, Nigeria, we always try to soldier on to the last minute and see if we can do some permutations and combinations of the points. If this country falters, then the other one draws, then hopefully maybe there's an act of God, an earthquake happens somewhere. We'll qualify for the World Cup. I don't know. But
okay.
Yeah.
Let's hope for that.
Yes.
You are also someone who loves sports. I remember the first time I ever saw you on TV, I watched you analyze certain interesting, you know, match games. So tell me, what are your thoughts on that?
It's unfortunate to pick one win out of 6 games against supposed minnows, Lesotho, Rwanda, Zimbabwe. I mean, there can be no excuse, Benin Republic. But mathematically, we're not out of it, as we say. Mathematically, we're not out of it.
Yeah.
Especially if the fact that South Africa fielded an ineligible player against Lesotho means that FIFA docks them 3 points. That brings them back to 10 points, meaning Nigeria will be 3 points behind them, and we still have to play them in Johannesburg. There are 4 games to go, so we're pretty much hoping for a miracle now. Exciting
times ahead.
Yeah. So as Nigerians, I mean, we never give up. We never give up till you know it's over. But it was a disappointing start of the week. One in Rwanda. We're expecting that at least we'll get the 3 points against Zimbabwe, and we were this close to it. You know, just a few seconds to the end of the match considered, and here we are with the calculators.
All right, with that being said, we'll take a quick break. When we return, the Black Table starts, and then we'll be starting with our first quick fire, and we'll move on with the entire show. Please sit down, stay tuned, and grab your favorite libation. It's the Black Table.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
As the morning light filters in, the Max Breakfast kickstarts your day from the bedside.
We bring you the morning vibe and plenty of ginger to start your day right.
Join us on the Max Breakfast as we help you seize your day one step at a time.
On Max Hits, we've got the ultimate playlist for you. We give you back-to-back.
And all the biggest news from the world of entertainment, only on Max Hits.
Area, waiting the apple, waiting the shop. Tune into our award-winning waiting the 102.3 Max FM.
Lagos, Nigeria, you're welcome to the Max Drive.
Whether you're there for inside motor, you're there for inside traffic, we're there for you with a massive way.
You know what it is. It's the Max House Party. King Dion, DJ Charlie Sheen. Let's go!
102.3 Max FM. Hit music for Lagos.
Hello, TVC Communications. How can I help?
What makes TVC the right choice for my business?
Excellent question, sir. Let me share some exciting facts with you.
Start your day on TVC Entertainment with Wake Up Nigeria, a family and lifestyle show. Your view empowers women globally.
It's your view, let it count.
Entertainment Splash delivers the hottest celebrity trends. On TVC News, we keep you informed with breaking news and in-depth analysis of events shaping the world.
I will continue to speak the truth.
TVC News at 7 and TVC News at 10 p.m. delivers the most important stories of the day. Max FM, your hit music radio station, captivates listeners daily across Lagos and Abuja, making every commute more enjoyable. Adaba 88.9 FM is not left out, as it is the voice of Southwest. And on TVC Digital, we reach to million viewers daily. All together, pulls in over 17 million viewers daily. Contact us on 0707 272 8338 or marketing at tvccommunications.tv. Partner with TVC Communications today. Let's grow together.
All right, music, media, and royalties. It's a double-edged sword. One hand, it's the dream of an artist to see, their music playing across platforms, earning royalties and giving them, their desired recognition. But on the flip side, the system can be brutal. Payments often get delayed, fractions of pennies per stream or play, and navigating the legal maze of rights can feel like an endless battle. Still, artists push through because of the eyes. That feeling of their music connecting with an audience, making it all worth it, even when the lows seem endless. Now, that is what we're going to be talking about on the Black Table tonight. We're going to be focused on media and music and royalties. But before we do that, we're going to be introducing Tia Gang. We call him the most loyal man in Lagos.
Faithful man.
No, you're loyal. You're loyal. We're not sure about the faithful.
Most faithful.
Yeah, he says he's the most faithful man in Lagos.
Why do they give you that moniker? Why?
Because I've never done anything, no form of infidelity while I've been in this town.
Okay. Infidelity
to who?
To who?
To my wife.
Oh, to your wife.
Yes.
No form.
How do we verify
you haven't
that?
Been caught.
No. I've not engaged in any atrocity.
How do we verify that?
Yeah?
How do we verify?
I say it on national TV. Anybody that feels I've done anything should come forward.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Probably paid them for signing.
Well, I paid quite well. But remember, it's in Lagos, not outside Lagos.
My man.
I've been out of town with this man a couple of times, and yes, that's all I'm going to say.
Oh, wow.
So, but yes, we call him the most faithful man in Lagos because we're in Lagos. He's also the mayor of
The question you guys should be asking is if I travel a lot. That's what you should be.
Do you travel a lot?
No, I don't.
Okay, so all right. So we have something we call Would You Rather, and today on Would You Rather, it goes like this: would you rather have a jealous and overprotective partner, or one who is completely indifferent to what you do? We have a video of people giving us their thoughts on it. We'll play it, and then we'll hear from you guys what your thoughts are. Let's have it.
Not collabo. All right, I'd rather have a partner who is indifferent, but only because they're acting indifferent, not showing what they feel. But no, I don't want a jealous and overbearing partner. No.
Okay, I would choose an overprotective partner over someone that's indifferent because, being overprotective means at least they care. Because being indifferent means they don't really care about what you're doing, they don't care about you.
I think I go with what that is jealous. I know excessive emotionality is a thing and it's not really good, but at least it shows how much the person really cares about you to some extent. I'd rather have that and find ways to manage.
I would rather be with an overprotective partner. Why? Because that shows that he cares, as long as it's not in a toxic way or it's not abusive in any way. I'd rather go with an overprotective and jealous.
I would be overprotective because at least the person cares about.
I would actually love to have a partner who's jealous and overprotective because I know I'm feminine and I know guys are always overprotective over people that they really.
All right, so let's define what being overprotective is to everyone individually. I'm going to be starting with Chibada. What do you think being overprotective is?
I think it's probably the worst kind of way one expresses insecurities, and to varying degrees depending on what trauma response it is. Yeah. So if you've been with a partner who's seen shege, with a previous partner, being overprotective will be something that you don't want to deal with.
Okay.
Right. That kind of being overprotective would not be commensurate to your own actions. It would be proportional to the trauma that someone brought upon them, and nobody wants to suffer for the sins of some other
lovers past.
Exactly. So I mean, and I hear a lot of people on the Vox Pop saying they would rather choose that than have an indifferent partner. That's not what I'll choose. That's not what I'll choose. As the first guy said, if the partner is acting indifferent, not like they don't care, right? And the indifference could be a function of just their maturity. Like they've just decided what they're going to, care about or worry their heads about. That for me is a better place to be than to be with someone who's just paranoid, who's just insecure, who's just, everything that looks like a threat is a reason to panic and press the panic button. So, yeah.
All right, Frank, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, there's no definite answer because sometimes someone that is overprotective, they may love you, but their self-esteem is so minute that they have to go above and beyond and overcompensate and try to see if they can box you in. But at the same time, on the flip side, some of these people that are protective and all that, they are like using it as reverse psychology because maybe they might be doing something. On the down low, then they are now trying to be over to show you. They say then when you think about it, you'll be like, there's no way. There's no way she or he's doing that. You understand? So it's a flip thing. Then also indifference is also dangerous. I mean, are you going to have a partner who's blasé and just looking at anything that they're supposed to react to? They don't, just keep it. On the flip side too, that kind of person might just be storing up grief and emotions that one day when the thing comes out, it might be dastardly for everybody. So there's no definite answer. Depends on what the intention of the behavior is.
But if you had to choose between both,
I like a bit of both. For different things. Like, don't look at my phone.
That's a no-no.
Yes, you'll faint. Because we in the media, we are the subject of admiration from people. Someone might say, hey, I have this business, and member of the opposite sex, they give them your number and they start, they start waxing lyrical, and then your partner sees it, they should think you are in on it from the beginning and all that. So I feel some indifference for some things, like you said, but for other things, sometimes you have to say, hey, what's that? You have to show, And I understand that some women love it when, most women, they say, love it when their partners are protective. They'll be like, yes, I like my man. He marks his territory, and all that. But others that don't like it, they'll say
it's too much.
He said he's not. He doesn't have high self-esteem and stuff like that.
All right, gang. What's your summation?
Let me pick up from where Frank stopped. We should be protective. But the statement here is overprotective.
Okay.
When they're taking it to a certain level, they're like, what's going on? And jealousy. And if you see what jealousy and overprotection has caused in some relationships,
married,
you understand? Yeah, your life could be on the line from somebody that's really jealous and really overprotective. And you just see yourself in a chokehold and you don't know where to go to. I would never want a partner like that. Now, the indifferent partner also, if you're also an indifferent person and you're living your life anyhow, then you deserve yourselves. You're indifferent, she's indifferent.
Yeah.
You guys are both doing whatever it is you're doing.
Two different trains.
Do you understand? But you found a way to stay together. You get me? So I would rather go with somebody that's indifferent.
So if the indifference is not across the board, if the indifference is towards things that typically will trigger women's suspicion, that's desirable. That's what I was saying. So it's not general indifference.
Yes. That's why I say in some cases there's no clear-cut answer. You understand? There's no answer.
Maybe the person is just letting you be a man, do whatever you want. I don't care. But you now suspect that maybe that person is indifferent because the person is also doing similar.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
a rabbit hole.
Ways. Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for your feedback on that. So for our first quick fire, the UK government publishes details of unclaimed estates belonging to 58 dead Nigerians in the United Kingdom. A list of unclaimed estates and properties belonging to a total of 5,806 individuals who resided and died in the UK, including 58 Nigerians, was released. And the details of all of this is alarming because it brings us to the fact that do men generally don't like giving information to their partners, their family members, and all of that? Because 58 out of 58 names, about 70% of it were men. Men who acquired all of this properties, acquired all of this good things. Now the UK government would have to find a way to take these properties away because no one is claiming them, because even the family members don't know about this thing. So let's talk about it. When is it a problem for a man to keep away certain details from family members and their partners? Frank?
Well, you don't know the situation. Maybe he's a polygamist and he is trying to, some men try to acquire some property. You can't tell your partner everything, and I am all for it, but only that when it becomes terminal, your life becomes terminal, what happens to the property? So you should have a will somewhere. There should be a will. You can't just leave it floating and feel you're going to live forever. It's not going to happen now. So the thing is, some men like playing some cards close to their chest, and I understand why. Because if you open all your cards to your partner, see finish now. They've everything. They know everything about you. There's no mystery. You have to hold, but you have to hold some mystery. But to back it up, you have to put that thing down in a will.
In a will,
so that your lawyers can execute when you kick the bucket.
Okay. So do you agree that it's
he couldn't have said it better? I mean, see, people do different things for different reasons. There are, certain individuals who believe that you shouldn't, as he said, be 100% transparent with your partner. You should retain some level of, call it mystery. But there are also other people who do it because they have ulterior motives.
Like what type of ulterior motives?
Well, people buy properties in their names that they had the intention of maybe giving to a side piece.
Or they go with Hakimi.
Exactly.
He's the hero.
So they use a proxy, for stuff that they don't want people. They don't want full disclosure on for reasons best known to them. But what surprises me is that real estate in the UK isn't cheap.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're talking about people who are educated. We're talking about people who are exposed. Which is why the fact that there were no legal documents, right? Stating clearly,
no next of kin, nothing.
That after they pass, this is who this property should go to. Is shocking.
Don't you think that's lonely? They must have lived a lonely life.
Not necessarily. Some people are just careless.
Not necessarily.
So I'll give you an example. I was having a conversation, I remember, about 2 years ago in Ghana with a bunch of people you would call high-value individuals, you know, business owners, accomplished people in their fields. And we're talking about this issue of writing a will, you know, and it alarmed me how much superstition people attached to it.
Superstition,
If you write it, that means you are ready. You are ready to go. That's what.
You understand?
Yeah.
And because there is no telling when any of us will go, the risk you're running is super high. Because if it happens, this is exactly what it turns to. You know, something you labored for. That a relative should be benefiting from now goes back to the government or goes into the hands of people that you don't care for. You don't know. I don't know you don't care for you. And that's just tragic.
So there's a lesson there.
Big lesson.
No matter what the situation is, you should always prepare.
You should always prepare, especially if you have assets and all that. You should always prepare.
And sometimes the reason people don't do it is because they undervalue the assets they have. So there are people who have land in Mowe, Ibafu, and all these parts,
and they think
that it's nothing. Why should I go and write a will because I have land in where my mates have land in Banana Island? You know, they think it's shameful. They think, oh, I haven't acquired enough, you know, to be writing a will.
So let me try and stack.
They don't value those things. That property that you don't value now, in 5-15 years time is worth way more. So it really doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
If you own it, even if it's a HB pencil, you should write a will for it.
HB pencil. Well, I want to probably a marker, maybe not HB.
I want to look at it from the point of the banks. Do you understand? Because one example, I had a friend in Port Harcourt some years ago the family lost their dad, and lucky for them, he had about 6 bank accounts. They were going to these banks and telling them a couple of things, and the banks were telling them they needed to provide death certificates and certain information. They needed to provide things from the mortuary to say the guy's cause of death and so many things. So the bank was refusing to release any funds. Lucky for them, they had the guy's cards and knew his pins. So for the accounts they had access to, they literally used to go to ATM machines then. This thing I'm telling you is like in 2010.
So withdraw money.
They'll withdraw, wait till midnight, and withdraw the full limit. Do you understand?
For real?
That was how they were able to. Yes, that's how they were able to pay school fees and have a life to live. There were some accounts they couldn't have access to, and the banks were very stubborn about it. I'm coming from the bank angle because I feel banks, and there was something you said, next of kin. People don't know that your next of kin is not a benefactor.
It's not a benefactor.
Exactly.
It's not.
Your next of kin is actually just an emergency contact. Somebody that they should call. So if you have a next of kin and you think the bank is going to reach out to anybody, banks should actually start actively doing that. What banks do is that after a couple of months, your account becomes dormant. Do you understand? And after a couple of months again,
but is that ethically right? Because
see, that's why people don't read the terms and conditions when you're signing things to a bank and whatever. The bank doesn't have to call anybody. The money will become theirs. I think they should put a law where banks have to reach out to these families before making decisions and saying we now own it and say this is what's happening. We've heard this person is dead. We've done our research. Is there a will? Is there this? Is there that? Can you guys provide any evidence? This is how much is left. You get where I'm coming from? For some strange reason, just to toss this in, not to deviate, Abacha keeps giving us money almost every year. And he died when? The Swiss banks just wake up one morning and realize there's a $300 million and they notify Nigeria and tell Nigerians that this is what's happening. Why can't that apply that to individuals and reach out and say there's this amount that's with us?
Exactly.
You understand? That way, people would trust that bank more and keep banking with them.
The government does have records of unclaimed dividends and bank accounts.
The government?
Yeah, the Nigerian government. The banking system does have these records.
They do. They do. They know, but they don't reach out to the families.
They don't, because there's no, like you said, there's no
incentive.
There's no law in place
enforcing that law. And then to them, there's really no incentive because if nobody claims it, it becomes theirs.
And so there's even fraud that happens based on dormant accounts.
Exactly, that's what I want to talk about. There's the video that came out sometime last week of this guy who says he's been out of the country for about 15 years and he had this, fixed deposit, over 20 million. And it was in this bank. I'm not going to mention the name of the bank. It's a very popular bank.
What the heck? Just mention.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Okay.
I didn't need to persuade you much.
He got back into the country and then he tried to withdraw his money and all of that, and then realized that over the years, a particular amount of money had been taken out of his account, and it was so many questions being pushed here and there. without answers being received. And it really says a lot about how processes need to be improved on. Because if it's a fixed account, then no one should have access to it. You know.
Well, ideal versus reality.
Ideal versus reality, yes, yes.
The banking system, the biggest fraud ever.
Wow.
No, you are talking banking system.
It's not just the banking system.
Insurance is the biggest fraud.
Well, why do you say so?
Because insurance, the way they take, the speed at which they take your money, they don't use that speed to give you the money when something happens. Insurance is the biggest fraud. That's what I see. I get aggravated by the insurance companies. You see all of them, the marketing salespeople, all coming to you as if you were the mother bee. They're all swarming around you to get. Once they get it, once something happens to your car, or if is it life insurance, they now start telling you to pull out documents, bring and everything. They have leaflets for you to show them and everything. You're going
just so they don't pay you.
Just so they'll just delay it, and you know, it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating.
Wow.
At least pensions are better, but insurance, no. Exasperating.
Hopefully, with all the things we've discussed right now, the right parties can hear this, and they're not listening.
No, they hear it. No, the thing is that they hear it, but they don't listen. That's it.
All right, so we take a quick break. When we return, we'll focus on our main topic for tonight, and hopefully, we'll find answers to that one.
Yes.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll see you shortly.
Okay, so now let's get to the intimate part. Exactly. Now. So do you feel this whole enhancement, the whole you do boobs, you do ass, does it now make you good in bed? You do your dick, does it make you good in bed? You do abs, are you now more attracted to your partner? Are you more confident? Exactly, to now perform well.
As a woman, you have bigger breasts, you have bigger... Come on, you feel more sexy.
Okay.
It's affecting in bed.
Okay, Beverly, you know what?
No,
I really want to hear
the experience of it. It doesn't change the experience.
I want to hear Desmond's side. I want to hear your own, but your own is making me feel somehow.
Because what?
No, I don't know.
I'm being serious.
Is
now.
that your trousers are going?
Hey!
Hagulalumo!
Yes,
LGBTQ.
Oh my God.
Okay, welcome back. It's still the Black Table, and tonight we're talking about music, media, and royalties. We're going to be focusing on how it all works, and that's why we have Frank here, and of course we have Bada. I'm sure there's a lot of things to say, and of course Gang, who is also in radio. We can talk about this. There's been so many issues over the years, from the P-Square Brothers to Mercy Chinwo's issue. We had Kiss Daniel, who he had to change the spelling of his name
to Kiss.
Kiss, exactly. And then we also had Runtown, who was run out of town musically because of all of this.
You've been waiting to say that, I'm sure.
So let's dive into it. Let's define what royalties are, because I feel a lot of Nigerians don't understand it, and once there's a buzz in social media, everyone wants to say something without really understanding what royalties are. I want to start with you, because you deal in television and media
and work
large,
in music as well.
And music.
Okay.
So, can you help define it in the simplest term possible?
So royalties are the payments or the revenues that recorded or music that is performed live or written down, right, earns from usage by third parties over time. So typically, music will belong to a number of entities. Usually, you'll have record companies who own some of the publishing. You would have songwriters, the creatives, the producer, the songwriter, the singer. So there's something called the split sheet, right, which is a document that says how much each of those individuals contributed.
Contributed.
Yes. So their revenues, their share revenue is always proportional to the contribution they made.
Oh, okay.
So on the split sheet,
creative
the contribution they made. So if the three of us make a record, make a song, and I sing a verse, you sing a verse, he sings a verse.
Yeah.
But you sing the chorus as well, and you produce.
I get more shit.
So you get more points. We get more points, like percentages.
Okay.
So say you get 60%.
Okay.
I get 20, he gets 20.
Yeah.
All right?
Oh, okay.
So the points that are documented on the split sheet is how payment, when what we call the mechanicals are calculated, right?
Okay.
So let's say the music gets on DSPs, digital streaming platforms, the Apple Musics of this world, the Spotifys of this world, the Audiomarks and co. At the end of the month, right, those people calculate their revenues from ad revenue, from streaming, the subscription that the people who streamed paid.
Okay.
And then they give you a share of listens, right?
Okay.
So if our song got that month, say 0.5% of total listens, it gets about 4.5% of total revenues.
Oh,
right?
okay.
And so when they pay the money to us, the money is paid based on the points that were allocated on the split sheet originally.
Oh, okay.
So you get 60% of that revenue, he gets 20, I get 20.
So it's $1 million, I get 600. You get
exactly.
So
why don't I get?
Why do I get 20?
I'm not even in the song.
Because I sang the chorus.
I'm not even on the song.
Well, you are the listener, so listen. You are the one streaming. Thank you, by the way. Thank you.
So broadly, that's how mechanicals work. So and then there are 4 mechanicals. There are what you call earnings from recorded music. So when the CD is bought, we're away from the CD era, but there are still parts of the world where people still buy CDs. All right, vinyls, for instance.
Vinyls, yes.
People still buy them.
Oh, yes.
So in this part, we say, oh, my father or my grandfather used to listen to vinyls.
Yes, there are some music heads that say vinyls sound better than CDs.
Absolutely. And then in the same way people collect artwork, some people collect vinyls, just as status symbol.
Okay.
So rich people, mega rich people do that. So when you purchase music in that form, right, the royalties that accrue from usage, right, go back to the people who made the music. And then you talk about performance royalties. So when you get on stage and you play, there's a portion of the ticket revenue that is given to you, right? That also forms royalties. And when other people perform your music, so that record the three of us made, when other people perform it, right, some of the monies that people pay to listen to it should come back to us. Then there's something we call sync licensing, where someone is recording, is making a movie in Nollywood and says, the song that this guy has made will be good as a soundtrack. Right? So they use it on the film, they pay us. Someone makes a commercial and thinks, this should be the soundtrack for the commercial, they license it and they pay us for that. So all of those, revenues, they're called residuals broadly, because you're sitting in your house and your music is making money. And it's making money.
And it happens in film and television too.
Absolutely. Okay. But in this part, what you find is, because there is no real structure and laws and enforcement, you still find a lot of radio stations, for instance, most radio stations don't actually pay royalties. When you
that's true. I can verify that for you.
When you play people's music on air, radio is ad supported. The biggest revenue stream is advertising. It's only fair that if our music helped in getting listenership, we should get a slice of the pie. But there's no enforcement. No, but we'll get there.
You ain't gonna see it. You ain't gonna see
it. So that's how it works broadly.
Nice.
So I want to ask you, I think the same thing applies to television. In your experience in broadcasting, what are the things that you feel can be improved over time? And I know you have a personal, personal information on a particular situation, which is also
titled Yes.
So let's start with television. What are the things you think could have been done better? Because I think royalties too, the same principle applies to television. What are the things you think can be improved on?
I think the structures in the industry would be like abroad. They have in America, I think they have the Nielsen ratings, where they know that they know the number of eyeballs that watch this TV show. So when advertisers come, they'll be like, put me on the best rated television shows, the ones that have high viewership. So you have the ratings there. You know that, okay, Suits is at this time, this is the number of people that are watching. So you as a TV station that you're airing, some of these TV stations own the TV series or the movies, so they make money from there. But the problem is we don't have that kind of structure here. We don't know how many people watched Super Story, watched Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, watched Big Brother. I think they know because Big Brother is a cable-based production whereby they know how many people watch. It's digitalized. Yes, they know that. So it's easier. But for terrestrial TV, if we put like right now, I don't know if you guys know how many people are watching now based on. I don't think so.
We have a rough estimate.
It's called a diary system. So it's not scientific. You can't empirically verify it.
Okay.
But the good news is...
talk to me.
Good news is
don't tell me digitalization.
No.
Okay, go
so globally, the audience measurement system is called TAM or TAMS. It's an acronym for Television Audience Measurement or Television Audience Measurement System, right? And Nigeria, the government of Nigeria has been investing in delivering this technology to the
just
media
like they were
industry.
Investing in digitalization for more than a decade now.
So the DSO project stalled, and they've switched from digital terrestrial television, which would have required them to do point-to-point connections,
which are those boxes, I believe.
Yeah. But now they switch to DTH, which is satellite delivery.
Of course.
But with audience measurement, they actually have gotten to a very advanced stage where by end of this year, Nigeria, which contributes Lagos, which contributes about 90% of the ad spend in the Nigerian
90%?
Ad spend in Nigerian advertising space, will be fully covered for monitoring. So they're installing panels, they're installing what they call people meters, with which they can tell who's watching what for how long, all of those. So we're very close to having what you call a seller's market. What we've had all along is a buyer's market where brands say, this is how much we have.
This is how much we have.
Exactly. But as he said, you should be able to tell this show, not only the size of the audience, but the demographics. It's young adults, age this to this,
the age
who watch
bracket.
it. And there's also what we call average time spent, ATS. So you can tell how much someone actually sat and watched the show for. So if they didn't watch the entirety of the show, you can tell. Which is why for the NFL playoffs, the Super Bowl is priced not necessarily on the total audience that watches the final. It's on the people who watch the halftime show. Because that's when viewership peaks. Not during the game.
Not during the game.
Exactly. Because they know they can tell.
Nice.
So, gang, in your experience in radio, why do you think there's always an issue with artists and management and record labels and all of that? I was with D-Tunes some weeks back, and he was talking about so many things, and I'm like, how do you guys survive? I mean, record label owners, producers, and all of that. So in your experience in radio, because obviously you would have encountered a thing or two,
it all comes down,
what do you think, causes that?
It all comes down to money and man's greed, in a nutshell. Once money is involved, even the holiest of them tend to have some kind of conflict. In radio, like he said, similar to there was a time Koson tried to implement some kind of structure. But they did it wrong. I remember they approached my brand at the time and were saying, you guys have thrived off Nigerian content. You owe us just an example, you owe us 2 billion naira.
Very annoying.
Do you understand? They'll come and start saying, when did you establish this station? And from now, so you guys owe us 2 billion naira. If not, we'll call blah, blah, blah and shut you down. You know, that process. So where do you expect me to get 2 million naira from? And then when we give you the 2 billion, it was 2 billion, they said. When we give you the 2 billion, how are we sure it's going to get to the artists?
Yeah.
So let me tell you what happened. Inside story. It was just like, you know what? delete all Nigerian music on our platform. The Americans that we're playing, they don't get royalties from Africa because they don't register Africa as
part of their engine.
Do you understand?
Yes,
so they don't get royalties from Africa, so we can play their stuff. We can play other Africans. Forget Nigerian music. We're not playing Nigerian music anymore. Delete everything. Do you know what now happened? The artists themselves came through and said, please,
as I signing,
please play my musical. I am not a part of this organization. So that was the problem. Artists had not signed up to COSON at the time. They were not under that umbrella. Back to the
structural challenge.
Exactly. So they were not under that umbrella. So artists were like, you know what, please, I'm not a part of these guys. You can play my songs. Don't worry about my royalties. So they basically gave up that. Because what they want is for their songs to be played, to be heard, and become famous. They'll make their money off endorsements and shows and streams and whatever. You get where I'm coming from? And that's the reason why I think the streaming platform is picking up more, because artists now see that they can make their money back from streams and not exactly from radio play. Because how do you even calculate it? How many times did I play this P-Square song? Who tracks it? I played
we log it on Radio Nigeria. We went into the culture of logging all the songs we played, be it foreign.
I hope they still do that up till today.
Well, I left many years
ago. So do you understand? So that's the problem.
We had that culture.
A lot of news stations now don't even practice what he's talking about.
No. So Radio Nigeria is like the standard.
So you can't ascertain that I played Whiskey 100 times. So from 100 times, how much do I owe him?
Exactly.
And how much do I pay back? And then the funny thing, there are bigger radio stations like we are, like at the top of the food chain. And then there are stations down there that are not making as much money, but they're all playing the same music.
So that the key point is what you just mentioned. Now, if you approach a media channel or a media platform to pay royalties, you're assuming that they make monies from which they should pay.
Exactly.
So if their revenues are being held up by agencies, they haven't even paid staff, and all these issues that threaten their continued existence, they're not going to pay. So that's the real issue, because say for instance, platform A makes a revenue of 200 million, and the royalties that they should pay on all music played within the month comes to about 20 million. They probably will pay. Do you understand? They probably will pay. But if they made 50 million, but would only get paid next year or in 2 years' time by the agencies,
20 million still.
And how would they define it?
They pay money they don't.
Do you understand? It is common knowledge that the perception out there is that the media doesn't pay well. And the reason the media is, perceived to not pay well is because the media platforms don't make enough money to pay, right? So there's not enough money being made, and some of the monies that are being made are stuck with the agencies. So if you resolve some of those issues, right, and there's money, if you come to me, if you come to me and say there's an estate fee that I'm not aware of, that's about 5,000 naira. Do you understand? I'm probably not going to argue so much because it's such a negligible amount of percentage of my income.
Of your income.
But if you show up and my income is 500k and you say there's a fee of 250k, even though it's legitimate, there will be resistance. I'm going to tell you, no way, I'm not paying it. And that's what happens. So it's not like media owners don't know that they should pay royalties. It's just that they're struggling to keep the lights on. They're struggling to pay salaries. So why do you want to add another layer?
Do they pay salaries though?
Exactly. You're adding another layer of difficulty on top of it. And when we do get audience measurement, as a first step, things will sort of recalibrate, because now when you can tell this is how much share of audience I have. You can put a rate on that. Like he said, the HBOs who do like Game of Thrones, those are like premium shows. They're going to bill top dollar for you to advertise to their audience. So it's either you want to pay it or you don't. You don't negotiate.
So they determine.
They determine the price point. So they make so much money, and that's why the cast, the crew, you will hear they get paid $5 million for being because there's so much money. So if someone shows up and says, "Oh, you owe me X amount for royalties,"
you can have it.
Just send you to
you can have
the unit where you reconcile. Say, okay, we played for X amount of times, and you cut you a check.
At the same time, I think even some artists, performers, producers, writers, they don't even know their rights. They just signed a contract and they haven't studied it long enough to know how to even chase their money, to know what they have access to know what they're entitled to. Some of the artists don't know. They just want a deal. They just want to be heard. They just want to be played. So they don't know anything about royalties. They don't understand publishing. They don't know that this record, you can eat off it for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And they're just...
But let's come down to something a bit more isolated. The recent incident of Mr. Chinwo that was on social media and in the news and all of that. You have more information on that. Can you, just run us through
the thing
what has happened so far?
I'm friends with Mr. Chinwo and her husband. And when this debacle started, they were saying, there was one rift between her and her label, and she wanted her royalties paid. But the label guy was, saying that she breached her contract somehow. There was a flurry of accusations between both parties and everything. So I didn't meddle into it. I just was watching from afar because it was none of my business. But one day, I was at a show and she performed, and I said, hey, what's going on with you and everything? And she started talking, and she's very emotional. So she started crying and all that. I said, okay, you know what? I'll have to, talk to your husband, because the other party, her label, there were certain things they were saying on, the internet. They were saying certain claims were made, abuse of power and all that. So when I got into it, and the husband sat me down, we found out that royalties were paid, but like you said, these distribution companies, there are like 4 of them. There's YouTube. Firstly, none of her songs are on her YouTube channel. They are on the label's channel, YouTube channel, and she hasn't seen the back end of it to know how much revenue was given. That's it. Now these 3 other companies, Africori, Skiza, and Symphonic. Now Africori, I think Mercy's husband now showed her proceeds to an artist. I said, between so and so from one distribution company, this is what she made. The artist said, a lie. Based on her numbers, lie. Wow. So they did some findings. They now asked those distribution companies, give us figures. Only one could, and that was Africori. And Africori gave for the period of from 2020 to 2023, I think. And the amount of money was like $800 and something thousand. But she was given only dollars.
Wow.
No, she has high numbers. I think she's the
always
third.
Dollars,
She's the third most streamed
gospel artist.
Female artist, not gospel. Female artist, period.
Wow.
You understand? So only 90 grand was given her.
Wow.
No, not so, because from that 800,000 you have to pay the distribution company. Then the thing that is remaining probably 600. So you're supposed to give her. So the documents, I saw all the documents. So now when they mediated, used people like pastors from churches, they did a mediation, and they said, okay, you know what, let's get an audit company, let's audit and see and everything. But the label wasn't forthcoming. The audit company, I saw the document, the audit company said, based on the fact that the label is not forthcoming with the documents that we need, we're recusing ourselves from this. And the audit company left. And that's why they went ahead and got the EFCC to, wade into the matter. And the EFCC said, you have to show us. And they showed and said, hey, based on this, you received this based on your account, you received this is how much you're owing her, pay her. And they now started propaganda that, oh, he was held and forced to, pay. They let him go, and he even paid the money in 2 installments. He's still owing for that period. That's from one company. So, so they don't know the back end of YouTube, they don't know the back end of Skiza, they don't know the back end of Symphonic. So they said, okay, let's do an audit. But they are saying that Mercy breached a contract. So now, towards the end of her contract, the label said, all right, let us extend this contract for 12 years.
12 years?
Yeah, that's what, So she said, no, don't worry. The contract ended, I think it started in 2017. 5-year contract, supposed to end in 2022 or something like that. So based on that, events that she was supposed to make appearances, it was the label that was handling it. So the label stopped giving events. There was another mediation. The label said, okay, you know what, we'll hand over your line, contact line to you. you handle events, but give us our own cut, which is 50-50. That's why now people were saying, oh, she went behind her label. There is a letter to that I saw. So I saw all these things, and I said, hey, there's nobody standing for her because she's a big star and they feel she's the one abusing power. That's why I've never stepped into matters like that. I stay on my lane, but they're my friends. And one thing about me, if my friend is wrong, I say, you know what, you stole, you were wrong, return. But when I saw all the facts, and I mean, it is not in tandem with what the speculations are. Exactly. I said, hey, you know what, I'm going to put my foot down and make sure that the truth is brought out. And the thing is, even if you just come and mediate and say, okay, see all the back end, see this thing, let us reach a compromise. But don't stop manipulating, you understand, and all that. And if I'm a media person and these people are my friends, I'm going to offer. I've not taken it. I've not asked for. I'm doing it pro bono because they are my friends. Because
as it is, there's a lot of transparency. And then this particular situation is a good way to show people how things should be done when you sign up with a label.
Do you know now, they said, do you know what obtains right now? When your music is being streamed, there's a dashboard. The label sees the dashboard. The artist sees, say, based on this is this is this. It's just everything. Then the person knows already. It's transparent. You know what you're going to get. At the end of the month, you say, okay, this is it because of this is what I'm getting. This is what you are getting. It is live, transparent. But if people don't know the back end of distribution, okay, for instance, Mercy's album is on Qatar Airlines.
Okay.
She hasn't, according to Mercy, she hasn't been paid publishing.
Wow.
From inception. So
she hasn't been paid. What about the label?
The label hasn't paid her. She said that's what she's saying.
The label has been paid, but she hasn't received anything from it.
She has not received based on publishing.
Okay.
So here's my. I don't know the details of. I'm not privy to the information that Frank.
You know, a label owner who's my friend called me, Frank. Listen, you have to stay away from this. I said, why? Why am I going to stay? He said, no. This is the thing that happens between artists. That artists feel that they will come. He said, Mercy asks for her catalog back. I said, me, I'm not fighting for catalog. Catalog. If you signed something with catalog, it's an agreement. My hand no, I don't know about that one. But what I'm talking about is based on the contract you signed, you should pay her royalties.
Yeah, but you know, typically, to answer your earlier question, or what you alluded to about why these things happen so frequently.
Exactly.
Right? I don't know the details of this specific scenario, but the reason it happens all the time and will continue to happen, sadly, is because when an artist is about to be signed, he's desperate to blow. That's his number one motivation.
Okay, cool.
He's not looking at the fine details of the contract, right?
Doesn't even believe he can make that.
And I think that's what happened in that case.
Number two problem is that artists believe that the investment of the record label should not be recouped, and I'll explain. So if I sign an artist, just wait. So if I sign an artist, I put you in a house, I buy you a car, I spend money to promote your music, which is the biggest cost point, actually.
Okay, cool. Yes.
Music promotion.
Yes, music promotion.
Right now, and you can check with music executives, on an average, to promote a record in Nigeria today, will cost you between 50 to 70 million, maybe even more.
What are the details of promoting the record?
It's about, getting it airplay, getting it out there, getting it to the DJs, getting it on radio, getting it on
DSPs, getting it on the streaming platform.
Getting,
so promotion,
plugging it in different markets. It costs money. It costs a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Now,
getting it on TVC.
So to shoot music videos, shooting music videos, all of those things, the costuming, all of those things. A music video costs so much money. Now, you typically would make that investment over 6, if there's a quick turnaround, if the artist blows quickly, 6 months to 1 year period. Sometimes 3 years, you're putting money in, the artist hasn't started making revenues, right?
Okay.
All of those monies you are spending globally in music term, it is called recoupable investment.
Okay.
It's not dash. Nobody's Father Christmas. You're supposed to be able to recoup
it's
that
an
money.
investment.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you have a 3-year deal, let's say you are the artist, I'm the record label. I spent 500 million to get you to blow, right? And we have a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
Now, for me to recoup that money, we're not even talking about making a return on that investment, just so that I get my 500 million back.
Your capital.
My capital, that I recoup it.
Yeah.
It might mean that the terms of our contract from a revenue split standpoint means that if you, whatever revenues you make, I get 70%, you get 30%.
Oh.
Because if I don't get that big chunk, I will make my 500 million back.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, a lot of times, when these artists are signing, the 70-30 was there, but 70% of nothing is zero. So it doesn't impact them yet.
Okay. Yeah.
They've just
But the day he gets paid 3 million and you want to collect 70% of it, that's the day Wahala will start.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me give you a story. Let me give you a story.
Yeah.
I think this was like 2011.
Okay.
Wizkid, you know, Starboy, his first album.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember when he was signed to EME, and what he said was actually true. That percentage where label gets 70%, artist gets 30%, and it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
There was a show he was paid 10 million for. So the assumption is that you thought that Wizkid got 10 million naira for that show.
He got 3 million.
He got 3 million.
Yeah.
And the label got 70. They flew him, they dressed him, they did all of those sorts, so they had to recoup that amount. Then from the 30%, he pays his manager.
Of course.
Okay.
So from 10, do you understand? At the end of the day, out of 10 million, he got about 1 million.
Probably gets less than 1 million.
About 1 million. So from the artist's perspective and from his friend, people around him, they'll just be like, they paid 10 million, you're getting 1 million, you're the artist.
Does that explain why a lot of artists sign and after a bit they want to, go on their own?
No, but here's the thing.
No.
That's not the reason why.
That's not the reason why. In this case, my own is okay. If it is, I don't think it's like that. I think the guy was even generous enough. I think it was 50-50.
Okay.
He was generous enough to do that. Even the 50, let us see the. Let it be transparent. I know that based all this one after this was remaining, and this is yours. This is mine.
Exactly.
And we go.
No, there's no excusing not sharing what we call metadata with her.
Thank you.
You know, the data on the back end should be visible to the artist and to the label.
Yes.
You know, there's no, I mean, you can't excuse that.
That's it. So, I understand that. Now, but in terms of like the catalog, well, there's nothing you can do about it, because if you signed that, you can't just go and say, hey, you know what, give me back my catalog.
No. If they own the masters,
Can we talk about
but there's a catch. Sorry, there's a catch to it. I know, like in the States now, if after a certain number of years,
that's like, is that like 100 years?
You know how long it took them to get to that point?
Like Taylor Swift has the same deal. No, she can re-sing, you can re-record your music.
Taylor Swift re-sang everything because Scooter, was holding on to that. So she said, okay, Taylor Swift, she's a powerhouse. Her fans, she has a cult following.
Yeah.
She told her fans that, okay, I'm going to do this.
I will re-sing those
your songs. I will put more.
Please, can we redefine what a catalog is? A music catalog for people who don't know.
It's the body of work.
Yes.
The body of work that the artist has put together, whether they are EPs, whether they are albums or single releases. Your catalog is everything that you've recorded.
Let me break it down for you, Olamide. Ever since we started the Black Table, from the first episode till today, that's the Black Table's catalog.
Yeah, everything.
Which belongs to the label now, if we're talking about music terms.
Depending on based on what you signed. Based on what you signed.
Or the agreement.
But based on what you signed.
In the years of the majors, the Sony Music, the Universal Music, and the Warner, the three biggest record labels in the world, they typically own the masters. Because that's the only way they recoup the huge investment that they made on artists over the years. Yeah. But in the last 10, 15 years, there's been a shift where artists are now coming out to say, I want my masters. Remember, Mace and Diddy, it was that sort of thing where he said, can you sell me my masters?
Yes.
Can you give it back to me?
But Justin Timberlake sold his masters. He sold his whole catalog.
Even Ja Rule and the rest started. People have started selling their masters.
Say, I'll sell it for this. Give me.
There was even a time Prince said Prince didn't like working with artists that didn't own their masters.
Yeah.
Because when he had his own label issues and he stopped calling himself Prince when he was just a symbol. He was the artist formerly known as Prince. Do you understand? He was trying to take back his masters and own his own recordings.
Prince released the free album.
Yeah, just to
you two did the same thing too. So you'll be wondering. That's why you see this guy, they'll go for their name will be Puff Daddy, then P Diddy, then Puff, then Diddy, then
Love.
They change
then Brother Love.
And now Jail Guy. But
now you didn't.
What we're saying,
you didn't go there. You didn't go there.
Okay, let me go here. It's like Wizkid and Starboy. You get me?
That's
the Starboy persona is a way for him to be able to eat off certain things and get a certain percentage. He'll tell you, I'm Wizkid, I can't be on the track as Wizkid, but as Starboy, his label really don't have a hand in that. So,
which is very smart. Actually.
Which is smart for him.
So one final thing I'll say on this is that from my experience working as a music executive over the last 15 years, incidences like Mercy's, based on the privileged information that he has, there are very few. No, there are very few.
Okay.
Mostly, it's the artists that are in the wrong, from what I know. Right? But because, one, they believe that if they don't fulfill the terms of their contract, there's no repercussion. You can't take them to a court. If you take them, it will drag on forever. Secondly, they typically win in the court of public opinion because they are the ones that people like.
They don't let people know.
So you would hear that some of your most established, some of our most established artists are still owing labels 2 albums, 1 album based on what they signed, but they're walking free. And those labels have gone bust. There are less than 5 proper record labels in Nigeria. Why is that?
5?
Less than 5.
Wow.
Yeah. I can count them on one hand. If you take out Mavin, Chocolate City, Davido's record label, like, mention another one. That's a proper label.
Which label is Fido on?
Do you know him?
No.
No, that's the new guy that did that. Joy is coming.
Oh, Joy is coming. Joy is coming.
They know that song.
Dude. I know Joy is coming. I know Fido. What label is it signed to?
That's what I'm saying.
So usually you have independents, right? Who believe that they don't need a label. But you do need a structure. And that's why a lot of people pop today and they fizzle out tomorrow because there's no proper structure behind.
So talent is not enough.
Talent has never been enough. Will never be enough.
I've seen packaging bring out someone that is not as talented as some other people, and those ones are more successful.
Exactly.
Let's stop talking about Portable. What I'm saying is, stop talking about Portable. What I want?
Why? I love Portable. Why? You've stabbed my heart.
He's lovable, but he shouldn't be as famous as he is.
But wait. We're still going back to what things are like in Nigeria.
He's famous for his personality and not exactly music.
Aside the labels you mentioned, we don't really have that type of structure.
So music
Portable, for instance,
music is freakishly expensive, right?
It is.
As of today, with the lack of enforcement, so if I sign a contract, I'm not protected, I can lose my investment. It's the reason why even those who can invest and should invest in it don't invest. So the likes of Don Jazzy, who've built actual, sustainable systems and a label that has, gotten investment from the biggest record label of all time, Universal Music. They are legends. Those kinds of people have defied the odds. You've got Mavin 3.0 or something. There's been generations. He's been reinventing himself.
He's like a cat. He has 9 lives.
He's a legend.
9 lives.
That business is so volatile. You can lose money so easily. So let's cut record labels a bit of slack as well, because what you have is people just wake up one morning, jump ship without fulfilling the terms of their contract, and there's no repercussion.
Okay, gang, quickly, before we wrap up the show.
I would just say, this might sound funny, but the problem is progress and prosperity.
Okay.
Because 10% of 1,000 naira isn't any big deal to you. Till it's 10% of 1 million, it's not a big deal. Till it's 10% of 100 million, it's not a big deal. Till it's 1 billion, and you're like, 10%? Why? That amount, when you look at the figure of 10% of 1 billion, it's a big deal. But it wasn't a big deal when it was 1,000 naira. So when you prosper and you show your talent and elevate to that level, a lot of artists don't really care. I don't know whether this is the case in Mercy's situation.
No, that's not the case.
When it now became the figure was that high and you saw how much you're being cheated out of. They've been cheating you out of 1,000 naira here and there. But when it now got to millions of dollars, do you understand? That's when it's almost like a big deal. So do you now do you now cap yourself and say, I shouldn't go beyond this limit? I shouldn't blow that well for a label?
No, that's a valid point too. But in this case, in fairness, the label, actually, I think the percentage was okay. I think the scuffle is all about, you know, showing the back end.
Yeah, the residuals,
Yeah, just show the back end. And if I got what I did, I'll say, okay, thank you. The contract is over, actually.
Yeah.
So it's
so my suspicion, especially with the angle of presenting her a 12-year contract, is that though they gave her a fair rev share on the contract, but the 50% they were getting still hadn't paid them back their investment, which was why they wanted a longer term. And so when she said no, it meant she was going to leave without them breaking even.
Exactly.
And that's why they then wanted to hold on to, I'm just hypothetically thinking.
No, you have a point there. But the thing is, the back end should still be
Of course, they should.
Because I feel that if you wanted to institute the 12 years a slave contract, well, if you showed the back end, maybe you should have said, you know what?
Reasonably.
The first 5 years
this amount was
beautiful.
Into me,
it was beautiful. And everything is transparent. Why am I going to stress my... Please, let's continue. Maybe not 12 years. Maybe let's do for another 3 years or so. Let's see how it goes. And I'm pumped up and all that. They just want to see the back end. But everybody got embroiled. Oh, this, she's been chastised. She's been, you know, and when it happens like that, and the other camp saying, oh, they are abuse of power, abuse. The thing is, just like now, I am suggesting that, you know what, just do an audit. Let's do, since it's in the court of public opinion, let's do a live audit. Bring your audit company. I can bring a record company executive to know that due process is being adhered to. Then they start doing it. A couple of hours, it should be done if you bring all that, but bring all the back end.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Can I ask Frank something?
All right, so that would be the final.
Yes.
I saw a lot of people kind of like attacked you for having a bias.
Yes.
And you had this, and I credit people that are able to enter the comment section and reply individual comments.
Well, you don't know me that well. That's what I do.
You get me and apply. You have the time and energy. Do you think you're too close to this?
No, the thing is this. Okay. It's just as if you are a lawyer now. Your brother is embroiled in some... and he doesn't have anybody support. Are you sure you will not defend your brother?
I will.
You will step in.
I am close to that. I am not coming in as a judge or a lawyer. I'm not. Of course, is it my enemy? I'll go and defend. And if it's my friend that I'm defending, give me the thing. Let me see.
Exactly.
The people that are defending the label.
Do they have the facts of the case?
Are they not biased?
Exactly.
They are biased. So I'm not denying that. Oh, I'm not coming as a stranger. Oh, they are I'm close friends with them. You know, so I'm close friends with all these gospel musicians, Nathaniel Bassey, Dunsin, all of them. But the thing is this: you can't be saying one thing and another thing is happening. Let us see everything so that we'll know who's saying the truth and who is not. Stop chastising her when you have not brought any
evidence.
You know what? Let's see all the back end.
To say otherwise.
No publishing from the beginning of the contract to the end. And if he says it's a lie, bring it and show payments. Show let cross-reference everything. It's simple. If you are innocent, show it. Don't start creating propaganda. And me as a media person, and my person, she's my person, I won't lie. But I'm not going to lie for her, because if I lie for her and that lie is found out
and exposed,
that means I'm a liar too.
Integrity,
then I will still come out. If based on all this, I'll come out as a man, like I always do. I say,
this is the
I say,
findings.
Based on that, this is what I thought. But based on everything now, it is now clear that my person made a mistake. And for that, I apologize. That is it. It's no big deal. Saying sorry, I just say I'm a press person. I've said sorry to even the Twitter hoodlums that
Twitter hoodlums.
Except Daniel Reagan, who I want to garrote. I want to eviscerate this thing. You know, I told him I'll pester him for 5 years. So it's been 2 years. So he has 3 more years of my perilous.
I needed to hear that.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. It's been such a loaded edition of the show with so much information. So I'm sure everyone out there picked quite a lot of things. Some of the things I'm hearing for the very first time, and I'm happy that
your guy is very very well versed.
He's chopping.
As a matter of fact, I saw a whiff of show off when he was saying this. Just let me tell you something.
All right, so before we round up, we'll quickly take some of the social media feedbacks from today's show, and I'll be starting with trying to open it now. Okay, yeah. At Olaide says the Black Table team steady dishing us fine men. Is that the real Frank Edor? Oh my God! Plus, who is the demigod to your left? That will be you.
It can't be me.
It can't be you.
Wow.
Demigod to your left. Plus, gang, I had no idea you have a tattoo. Gang, you have a tattoo.
You have a tattoo?
Yeah,
Where is it?
My daughter's name is on my arm.
Oh, okay.
Is there only one daughter you have?
I have two.
You have to.
Yeah.
Better get the other arm ready.
It's too late. That's caused family drama, so I've stopped. I need permission.
And then we have Ashade. She says, I love an overprotective man. That's from the Would You Rather earlier. Make it just be specimen like this Bada. God, I beg.
Wow. Dude, you're a snack to this social media.
It's late at night, that's why.
Yeah.
And David says, in the list, I was subtly looking for my late father's name. Boya, he has assets that we can go and claim. That's from the story.
From the story of
the
David,
UK,
sorry, we can't help you.
I'm sorry.
Afemi says, you see this royalties matter, especially in Nigeria. We know fit talk and finish. Yeah, you're right.
You didn't complete it.
It's right. Let's just leave it at that because we can't complete it. There's just so much to talk about. Yes, like I said, there are certain things we do on the show. We have something called Just a Tip. And because I have two guests here, I'm going to have to do...
Two tips.
Two tips, yes. We'll do
two separate tips.
So a quick...
No. Why are you starting with me? Start with the snack that everybody wants.
Okay. All right, so I'll start with the snack. So just a tip for today's edition of the show. Your feedback.
I've enjoyed it thoroughly. It's a black table of worthy men, bantering, having fun, and discussing really topical issues. So and it's a super impressive facility that probably the cameras don't do justice to in terms of what the audience see. So it feels really nice to be in a world-class facility in Nigeria, and the show is excellent. So
thank you very much.
I also let them know how available he is if.
Dude, are you married?
I know his wife. He's not available.
No. Forget availability. Okay. My guy is signaling me, so let me just chill.
So, Frank, you're just a tip for tonight.
Oh, I mean, when they told me, I came here last Friday, and they told me about the black table. I said, guys talking, and we're going to be imbibing libations. Wow. I said, hey, it's a no-brainer. But when I came here and I saw the quality of men and talk, sometimes, in the real world, it's difficult to curate the people you come, this show is curated. You bring the right people to come together and talk, and it's pretty enjoyable, than, mixing with people who they rather win an argument. You understand? They want to win the argument than to admit that the other person is right. And here, what I see is maturity. What I see is knowledge. What I see is regal men coming together, rubbing minds, and learning new things, Thank you very much. So I learned a lot from the music industry. And that he is the subject of women's activation.
Okay, you know what? For Toast of the Week, we'll be toasting to both Bada and Frank. Thank you, gentlemen. You guys are amazing.
let me toast to the ties that bind us, and may the best of your past be the worst of your future.
Amen. Cheers.
All right, cheers. I like that.
Cheers.
Gang.
Black table, black drinks.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah. Okay, yours by wireless toast, Bluetooth. Cheers.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. So it's a wrap right now. We have to go. It's been such an exciting edition of the Black Table. We will catch you same time, same station next week. Good night.
we all know everyone loves to be entertained. So you just have to entertain everyone around you in any way you can. Entertainment means fun, means amusement, means games, means a lot. Without entertainment in the world, I guess we'll be jonesing in this world, you know what I'm saying? So I feel entertainment is everything.
It's your girl Peach, and you're welcome to the morning show on your favorite FM dial. And in the studio with me this morning is exclusive.
Yo, this is exclusive in the building.
Wait a minute, exclusive. Have you heard about the latest gossip in town?
Which?
The jury.
Oh, that babe's is fire.
I know, right? I mean, how she manages to get these juicy stories, it's really crazy.
I'm just saying, if you really have to gossip, you need to, do what?
Okay, people, so the jury is the latest gossip blog in town. You all need to go over there.
Did you say gossip?
Yeah, gossip. I mean, anyways, we're gonna be taking a quick break, and when we're back, we would be dishing out more juicy stories. Stay tuned.
You say I find, you say I fresh. You want me to want you.
Okay. 4 plus 6 plus 6.
Good morning. Please, I'm looking. Oh!
Okay.
Whoa.
You're fine?
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
What is my best friend doing in Uncle Eric's house?
I came right on time.
You two know each other?
He caught me.
Yeah, she tripped.
Oh.
Yeah.
Of course.
I bet your BTA.
Thank you. I was getting worried at some point. Okay.
Hi, Chidi.
Yes, it's not. Thank you, darling.
Well, you're not going to introduce your friend?
Okay. Demi here is my sister, and Eric is Chidi's best friend and business partner.
Your sister?
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure. She wasn't at the wedding in Abuja now, was she?
No, she wasn't, but she had a good reason.
Oh, I see. Welcome. What do you do, if you don't mind me asking?
Demi's a blogger.
Okay.
Have you heard of the jury?
Oh, the jury. Yeah. Oh, so she's the face behind the gossip blog, right? Right. Okay.
Demi, I'll miss you.
Have a safe vacation.
I sure will.
Make sure you take pictures, okay?
I will. Take good care of yourself,
Yeah,
okay? I love you.
I love you. Bye. Bye, Chidi.
Bye.
Bye, darling.
What did I do now? No, what have I said? Did I say something wrong?
You have just made the greatest enemy. Demi's blog is not a gossip blog. It's an opinion blog. So...
Wait. What's the difference? Opinion blog, gossip blog. What really is the
Chidi,
difference?
don't laugh. It's not funny.
No,
you
but...
know, Demi does not like it. It's an
No, but what is the difference between gossip and opinion? My opinion... Whatever I say behind you is my opinion, but then you're not there and then it becomes gossip. So she says stuff about people.
It's her blog.
Is that really her?
It's her blog.
She looks a bit too small for the kind of things she writes. I'm just saying.
Chidi, it's not even funny. Are you not going to talk to Eric?
I guess we're all set for tomorrow.